November 17th, 2001, Saturday. Day off from work. Slept in till about 2 p.m. I was awake since 10 a.m. when my dad accidentally set off the panic alarm on the Malibu. Finished reading Henry's book, See a Grown Man Cry, and Now Watch Him Die. For what it's worth, I really enjoyed it. Almost every line he writes is worth quoting, and believe me, I will try. Showered and stretched and wrote an entry into Fleeting Glimpse, my dream journal, which I've not used in close to 2 years. I'm going to try and be more devoted to it. Met up with Tim and we jammed over to Borders to check out some books. I checked out the usual, screenplays, Selby's books, and Rollins. I'm going to delve into him a lot more. I've read all of Carol, Polinick, Selby, Eugenides, so until they release something new, I'm going to work on Rollins. After him, I may once again try Kerouac. Yet Kerouac has a lot of stuff, as does Rollins. After 7 p.m., I started heading over to the Madrid theater to catch Rollins' spoken word. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous as the show began because I was by myself and I felt out of place. As soon as he came out, though, it was totally different. Henry was great. He is a lot different than I had thought. He was so funny and energetic. The audience, including myself, enjoyed every second. The show, I figured, would last about an hour or so. So 2.5 hours later, I left. When leaving, I ran into two cats that I knew from school, Greg and Kyle. They also went to the show. I tell you, it's kind of funny. It's cool to see someone you went to school with, but after saying, hey, what's up? There really isn't much to say. Because when you think about it, what's the big fucking deal? Okay, we went to school together, so does that make us life mates? You don't truly know me, and I don't know you. We only attended the same school. I'm not saying, though, that this is how it was with Greg and Kyle. No, these guys are cool. We just said hey and went about our business. I was talking mainly about other situations, and it is always awkward. On my way home, I drove through the main part of Westport, since that's where the Madrid Theater is, and also through the Plaza, the rich epicenter of Kansas City. I always feel strange when I go through there, like it is a different world. I see people walking by expensive shops I will never enter, eating at high-priced restaurants I never knew existed, and staying in elegant high-rise hotels, carriage rides, and yuppies walking the streets not knowing themselves. It's a totally strange world for me to be in. To be truthful, about 5% of me is a little jealous. I want to be a part of that world. Inside, it's like I'm missing out on something. There's a whole other dimension out there that I've yet to let myself venture into. It's never been something that I've experienced, and I feel a void inside because of that. All I know is the world within the fucking suburbs. It is a realer place, the suburbs, than the fake plaza and those posh fucks who frequent it, but in its own way, the suburbs are even faker. But I would still like to experience it as if I belonged. That way I can say to myself that I have had and willfully chose, or have had and willfully choose, not to be there. It's not to say that I don't like where I am at now, because I do to an extent. I just want to have a little more. Like I said, it's only about 5% that is jealous and wants this. The other 95% wants more too, but does not want to give up all of the individuality just to hop on the mainstream bandwagon. I have fought for years to train my mind, to not give in and give a fuck about petty and trivial bullshit, and still I have a few small battles to fight and win before I completely don't care. I know that in a sense I'm still very young and have a lot to see and do before I die. I'm just so impatient with the pacing of my life so far. Fuck, I mean, it took 15 fucking years of my life to try and figure out that I love films and that I want to write screenplays. 18 years to see that poetry is a blessing. It can help me fight my demons. It took me 19 years to cherish books and storytelling, and now 20 years to fully understand my purpose. To be a storyteller in any medium. Be it a film, a novel, a collection of poetry, prose, or essays. I am a writer and a storyteller. I just need to focus. Fuck the mundane. And focus on my love and future. Wow. Huh. That kind of got me a little bit. 22 years ago. Okay. I also wrote a poem today that I called Jungle Finger. I told you to look for it in my future back in October when we created it. End quote. Your history becomes your enemy. Henry Rollins. See a grown man cry.